On this episode of the Bronze Metalist Podcast, we talk about Xenotaph by Fallujah. Welcome to another episode of the Bronze Medalist Podcast. I'm Kale.
I'm OJ.
We're two professional broadcasters, and you also seem to be moonlighting as a vigilante.
I am.
Given the voice.
I forgot his love story or love interest in that movie. What was her name? Oh, yeah.
Rachel?
Where's Rachel? Yes, that's right, yeah.
Where is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're two professional broadcasters. We like metal and we like to talk about it when we're not, putting on our capes and crusading about the town and taking on various villains.
I find that in the Incredibles, what's her name, Edna Mode, she's fucking right about that shit.
Capes are stupid.
Capes are terrible.
Capes are a bad idea.
Yeah, it's gonna get you killed.
That's true. It is. Yeah, in any practical sense, if you are going to be fighting, a cape is a bad idea.
I guess maybe a cowl, but.
Yeah, a cowl. Yeah, a hood, a cowl. That's all right. But yeah, I mean, if you think about the time period in which people would wear a cape or a cloak, because like a cape is really just a cloak that forgot it's supposed to be useful.
Right.
Because like a cape only covers your back, and it doesn't. You don't really wrap a cape around your whole person, your whole body, so it's not really capable of keeping you warm. It's just there to look neat.
Right.
It's just there to look nice. Whereas a cloak is a practical garment that you can cover your entire body with.
Right. And
usually has a hood attached to it.
But capes are worn by somebody walking from the carriage to the fancy dinner party.
Exactly, and even if you were a rich fancy boy, when the time came where you had to go kill some other people,
you took off the cape.
Yeah, the cape stayed behind.
Right.
And you didn't take the cape with you onto the battlefield.
Right.
That would get in the way. You wouldn't want some peasant to grab that and yank you off your horse.
Right. I can just imagine being on the battlefield, looking over to your left. Is that motherfucker wearing a cape?
Is he wearing a cape? I mean, maybe a king or something. Sure. Like if you're just on the battlefield, you're in your armor, but you're not expecting to be doing any fighting. Right. You might be wearing your finest stuff. Maybe your helmet has a crown built into it or something like that.
Your barking orders.
There are some historical examples of like really ostentatious, like battlefield style armor that still was like, this is a bit much to be practical, but if you are someone who's on the battlefield wearing it, you probably don't expect to be doing a lot of fighting yourself.
Right.
There were some kings who liked to get into the melee, to be sure, but for the most part, it was a bad idea. Something that I always find interesting about like medieval battles and war that people don't know a lot lot about. I've started.
I wound up the Kale.
I'm going. What I think is kind of interesting is that the people don't talk so much about how much ransoming was a thing. Where like if you were just a knight where you had barely enough money to buy your armor, you've made a bit of money off of the land that you have because you're a knight, but you're not like super wealthy.
Right.
You might just get killed because you're not worth anything to anybody. But if that's part of the purpose of heraldry, is to show everybody who you are. And if the other side goes, that guy's worth a lot of fucking money, they're just going to knock you off your horse and keep you alive, and then ransom you back to your family. And that was one of the main ways that like knights would make money in the Middle Ages, is by like seeing another knight on the battlefield and not killing him and selling him back to his family or to his king, because maybe he was really valuable to his king.
We really should start doing that.
Ransom?
Yeah, let's get into the ransoming business.
Yeah, I think that'll be successful.
Sure, that'll be wildly successful.
That'll be wildly successful. Yeah,
sure.
That'll be great.
I'll quit my night job and start a career as a kidnapper.
Yep. What could go wrong? with becoming a kidnapper.
I witnessed a kidnapping over the weekend.
What?
Yeah.
Explain.
My son was on my couch. And he was napping.
Yeah.
And he's a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a kidnapping.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. I get
There
it.
you go.
I get it now. I understand.
He's 14 now.
Yeah. I get it. Laughing, but I get it.
Meatwad.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling better. My leg.
Yeah. You've been limping around for like a month.
I have.
What's going? Did you? I kind of overheard you. You think you figured out what's going on with your leg?
I had a twisted muscle and tendon in there.
How did that happen? How do you twist a muscle?
I took a fall.
Okay.
I had a fall.
You had a fall.
I was going for a banana, and I had a fall.
You were going. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot that was part of. Okay, explain the going for the banana bit for me again.
Okay, I had, as one does, a bunch of bananas on my kitchen table.
So do I do right. I mean, not my kitchen island right now.
Sure, your kitchen, right?
Some fresh bananas.
Right, because you live in a fancy place.
Yeah. I have a table and an island.
Oh God.
From all the kidnappings.
Sure, exactly.
And ransomings. That's how
you can afford that.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was going for the banana and I misjudged the floor where a chair was.
Uh-huh.
I actually got my hand on the banana, but that's the moment where things kind of went south.
Yeah, you shouldn't have been prioritizing the banana at that point, and have been putting your hand somewhere else to stop your fall.
I actually did one of those things, like if. You're holding a thing that's breakable and precious.
Yeah. You cradled it like it was a human child.
Yeah, I did. I sacrificed my own health and well-being
for the banana. Yeah. For the sake of that banana.
Yeah. Yep.
Normally people slip on the banana, not because of the banana. I mean, they do slip because of the banana.
Right.
But it's usually on the floor already.
Let me tell you right now, that banana sacrificed its comfort in its final moments on that kitchen floor.
Oh, did you throw it?
No.
Oh, you squashed it.
No, I laid there.
Oh.
I laid there on the floor
Did you eat the banana on the floor?
Yeah, I did. The only thing that's going to make me feel better right now
is if I eat the banana. I sacrificed so much for it. I may as well enjoy it.
Right.
I suppose.
In the cool comfort of linoleum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The totally not sticky linoleum.
Yeah, because I'm fairly good about
cleaning that.
About mopping the kitchen floor.
Okay, I should more often. I have a wet jet or whatever that I should use more. I don't often see the need for it. I don't tend to get a lot of stuff on my kitchen floor, but the dirtiest it gets is by Zima's food bowl, as one might expect. There's not generally a lot of stuff on the floor because my robot vacuum goes over there as well.
Yes, you have an island, a table, and a robot.
And yes, I have a servant. It's a robot. I have a robotic servant.
I'm so tempted to I'm on my way out. No, let's see a kale, and then you turn around and you see a note on its little cozy where it goes. It says, "I want $100 for the return." Of your
safe
servant.
Return of your servant. It's weird that it's so weird to me because it will go a month with no issues and nothing in the apartment will change.
Right.
And then suddenly it will get stuck every single time it tries to vacuum for a week.
Sure.
And I just don't get it. I don't get what changes that spur it to get stuck where it hasn't gotten stuck before.
Yeah, it's weird because I've been coming here once a week for how many years now?
Yeah.
Nothing has changed except for your living room is now backwards.
I rearrange it.
Yeah. Just the one time.
Yeah, it just it occasionally decides that it is going to get stuck. I had to put a no-go zone in the little digital map under my couch because for the longest time it had no issue going under my couch and vacuuming under the couch, not getting stuck under there. It barely fits, but it fits.
Sure.
And then last month, every single goddamn time it would go vacuum, it would get stuck under my couch. So I had to tell it to not vacuum under my couch anymore.
I need to pull out my couch.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
You got to pull out of your couch? Okay, JD Vance.
I need to pull out my couch.
Yes.
Because I had a cat for a week.
Oh, no.
And I feel like there's going to be stuff under there.
Some grossness under there, some badness.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a possibility. And it just occurred to me that maybe that's where some of my hair ties have disappeared to. Is it probably got vacuumed up.
Sure. Well, how often do you empty the thing, or does it empty itself?
It empties itself, but the repository, I wanted to call it a tank. It's not really that would imply liquid. Liquid goes in a tank. Solid things don't generally go in a tank.
Sure.
The bin. The bin.
There you go.
It does need to be emptied like one. It said it's supposed to be 60 days. I don't think it's quite that long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how often I actually do end up emptying it. I just every once in a while I'll be like, let me check on that, and look, and it's like, oh yeah, I'll empty this. But it's never been like so full that it's like, oh god, it can't work. The only time there's been an issue with that is there was a bunch of like hair and stuff that got stuck in the essentially the robot's butthole, where all of the stuff gets vacuumed out of the robot and into the bin. It had an impacted mass that had to be pulled out manually, like as a constipated cow.
Oh god. Do you ever like pump coffee into it?
No, I haven't. I haven't given my shark a robot or a coffee enema. I haven't done that.
Hey, where'd you guys go last night? Oh, we went around. We ended up at the robot's butthole.
That sounds like it would be a bar in like a cyberpunk, I mean, that's just a bar in an episode of Futurama, really, is what it is.
It is.
The robot's butthole. But yeah.
She'll do anything you like within a tolerance of 1 micron.
Speaking of robots and cyberpunk stuff, it doesn't quite fit neatly into that genre. But I wanted I was trying to segue somehow into saying a game by one Mr. Hideo Kojima comes out tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Death Stranding 2 comes out tomorrow, and I'm excited about it.
Is Norman gonna be in it?
Yeah, Norman. Yeah, pretty much all the cast members from the first game are in it. In addition to a bunch of new people like Elle Fanning and fucking George Miller, aka the director of Mad Max, is in it.
Sure.
I don't think Mads Mikkelsen is in it because his character's whole thing got resolved at the end of the first game.
Sure.
So I don't see there would be any real reason for him to reappear.
But oddly, Hannibal Lecter does. Yeah. No.
There's a new character that is so like obviously supposed to be an homage to Solid Snake, but it's legally different Solid Snake.
Yeah.
Because Hideo Kojima is not allowed to touch Metal Gear Solid for the rest of time.
Sure.
Because Konami owns all of that shit, even though he made it entirely himself. So yeah, there's a character that looks exactly like Solid Snake, and it's like, I don't know what this character's role is going to be, or if it's just a visual homage. Like, I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything at all about what the game is going to be. I have no clue, other than I know it's going to take place mostly in Australia. I know that the baby has grown up a little bit, but according to what I saw in the first trailer, at some point it seems like the baby died. Oh no! I don't know how that's going to figure into the whole plot. The villain from the first game is back somehow, but he's wearing like a weird robot suit that's made to look like Sam's dead sister / mom. It's Troy Baker is being even weirder than he was in the first game, which is saying something because the first game is the absolute freakiest Troy Baker has ever been in anything.
Okay.
That man fucking committed.
Or should be.
God, I can't remember the character's name off the top of my head.
I've not played the game.
Higgs.
Higgs?
Higgs, as in Higgs boson, because it's Hideo Kojima.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Higgs is so fucking freaky and unnecessarily horny, and it really stands out, and it's that way on purpose because in a game with as many like beautiful actresses and wonderfully rendered, like digital renditions, and as much nudity as there is in Death Stranding, I have rarely played a less horny game with that much nudity in it. I mean, to be fair, almost all of the nudity is just Norman Reedus. Not that he's an ugly man by any means, but like none of the nudity is
like tits.
Is for titillation.
Right.
None of it is meant to be sexual. It's all just kind of incidental.
Right.
Like Death Stranding is a very like asexual game, which is a weird thing to say
about a video game.
But it's true. It's even brought up in a couple like logs, like text logs in the game that you can read through. It's how the apocalypse that occurred, kind of the societal results of the isolation has, in my opinion, kind of paradoxically made people less horny. Like normally when people are isolated and stuck in places together, that would make them probably more horny. But
that's what I've been thinking about the ISS. Like those two that were up there for
they
9
were
months
up there
together.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did they or didn't they? I wonder.
don't know.
I mean, they're both committed to other relationships.
Yeah. I mean, when you're in space for 9 months.
Yeah.
But
no one can hear you scream.
In space, no one can hear you cream. Or to quote the McElroy brothers, if you nut in space, it push you backwards. But no, like Death Stranding it's just very interesting. I guess there's more to the whole thing about like people not wanting to like have sex or have kids.
Yeah.
Part of that is also just because like everyone's pretty convinced that the human race is just kind of done, and there's not really any point to bringing a child into a world where anytime someone dies, there's a chance that it's going to summon a weird ghost from another dimension, and if that ghost touches somebody, it causes a nuclear explosion. The lore is bonkers.
Yeah.
It's insane. But I so deeply enjoyed the first game. It was, I put off playing it for so long. I played it over the winter, and I was I was obsessed with it. And by the time I was done, I was so incredibly invested in everything, and deeply, deeply emotionally invested in the characters and what was happening. It's so weird how Hideo Kojima writes the weirdest, most stilted, most awkward dialogue ever, and yet it is still compelling at the end of the day, because everyone, like all the people who are performing in the game, he just knows how to make, like they care about it. They're delivered. It might be on paper the dumbest dialogue ever, but it's delivered earnestly, and it for, at least for me, it made me invested. And I think that's something that's an experience that a lot of people who are Kojima fans have had throughout his career. It's like you look at the writing for a given scene throughout the Metal Gear Solid series, and it's like, this is nonsense. But you care, and it's fun, and it's cool. And the screenshots I've seen of like the environments in Australia in the second game are pretty stunning. So I'm excited to play Walking Simulator Rising Revengeance #2.
Rising Revengeance?
Yeah, well, because there was the Metal Gear game that Kojima didn't make that one. That was the studio that makes Bayonetta.
Okay.
Where you play as Raiden, who's like the cyborg ninja. and in the very first episode, you suplex a Metal Gear the size of a skyscraper when you're just, a normal-sized man that has a robot body.
And his name is Raiden?
Yeah, Raiden is his name. His real name is I can't remember. He just has a relatively normal real name.
Phil or something.
His name. I think his name is Jack. But he's a cyborg ninja.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's white, but he's from Liberia.
Okay.
I don't remember the story, and he was like a child soldier. Again, it's Kojima. The lore is wild. The lore is wacky.
I got a game for Father's Day.
Yeah,
I did, and I'm at what I believe to be the final battle of the game.
What game was it again? Sorry.
Bramble the Mountain King.
Yeah. My sister's played that. And I've seen a couple different YouTubers play it as well.
At the final battle.
Mm-hmm.
And so far it's been a really fun game. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's a very dark game.
Very dark.
Both in tone and in just level of light.
Yeah.
You play as a little Norwegian boy.
Yes. Yeah, you're like an 8-year-old kid. I mean, what? Does he have special powers? No, he does not.
He's just a normal 8-year-old boy and He did the thing that no 8-year-old boy in the forest of living in the woods of Northern Europe should ever do, which is he went outside at night.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did. Terrible mistake.
Dumbest thing he ever did.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's been an adventure.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a game in the style of like. I mean, it's a bit more 3D than your. Oh God, now I can't remember the game that immediately came to mind is the game Inside, but that's actually I think a spiritual sequel to like the original game that I'm trying to think of. Maybe not Inside.
The play style kind of feels like the two of us, or does it? It takes two. It takes two. It's the name of the game.
Yeah,
that's how it kind of feels.
There's God damn it! Now I can't remember. Inside game, is this the? Yeah, this is the game I'm thinking of. Okay, but what was it? What was the style? What was it based on? God damn it!
And a lot of the art, because there's trolls and there's all the different mythological.
Limbo is the game I was thinking.
But that's where there's this stick and it gets lower.
No.
Oh.
It's a game that's all in black and white, and you play as it's a side scrolling like kind of 2D or like 2.5D like side scrolling game where you play as a young child who's going through a really horrifying environment in the dark woods, and there's also the Little Monsters series of games. That's very, very much, it's like this own little micro genre, and Bramble the Mountain King fits pretty squarely in that.
Gotcha.
That this micro genre. The difference with Bramble is that the graphics are meant to be a little bit more realistic instead of stylized.
Right. Yeah. And since playing this, there's enough Scandinavian sort of imagery with the trolls and the different symbology that while I'm playing it, all I can smell is
Viking on a stick
and cinnamon toasted almonds. Yeah.
You smell the Hustfest.
I smell the Hustfest the entire time I was playing.
A true Minot resident.
Another game I'm playing. I just started playing it like a little over. Was it 3 years ago?
What's it called?
Something Circle, Old Circle, or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah.
Is it by that the guy who made Spirited Away?
Yes, Miyazaki.
Yeah. It's that Miyazaki, right?
Hayao
It's
Miyazaki.
not a different one?
Right, no.
Now, what if they made a Elden Ring anime and it was done by Studio Ghibli? That would be pretty cool.
I would watch that.
They are making an Elden Ring movie.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I almost said Alex Kurtzman. No, not Alex Kurtzman. Not the new Trek guy. Not the new Star. Fucking Alex Garland.
Gotcha.
Is directing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's writing it as well, but
then I can involve George at all.
He might be. I don't know. I do know that it's. I've got a little bit of hope for this because Alex Garland is. Apparently a massive fan of the game and he's currently on like his 7th playthrough.
Wow.
So he cares. He gives a shit about the actual property and the intellectual. He gives a shit about the IP instead of just being hired to do it.
See, the thing is, I've been playing this game like I do all the other games I play, which a lot of people say, let's play the story, and then once you finish the story, then you go do all the side quests or whatever. When I beat the final boss, I want that to be
the last thing.
The last thing.
But you got the DLC.
Yeah, I know. which I could go do.
Yeah. I mean, you can.
I made it to Moog, you know.
You like the. Honestly, I do feel like the DLC makes a little bit more sense to do last.
Sure.
Simply because the final boss of that DLC is orders of magnitude more difficult than the final boss of the base game. So it might feel a little weird going from that one to then Ratigan / Elden Beast.
Yeah.
But like that's one of the things for this 3-year-old game.
Right.
It's older than that. It came out in 2021, I'm pretty sure, didn't it?
2022, I feel like, yeah.
Is it? I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out.
But just
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I said 2021, so I was wrong. I said 2022 like I was right.
Yeah, like I'm justified.
God, I'm such an
asshole. In the thing you said. But yeah, right now I'm just about to the Hallig tree.
I mean, you're doing things at your own pace.
It's
an interesting pace, but boy, you're doing it. You're getting there.
See, the thing is, if I ever had like 12 hours at a shot, I could really knock a whole big chunk out. The problem is I play for an hour or two, and then I come back, and my motor memory has lost a bit because
that's fair.
I had to go, work, take care of children.
Yeah, I never ended. I keep telling myself that I'm gonna go back and like finish Bloodborne because I never beat Orphan of Cause, and then because I didn't beat Orphan of Cause, I didn't beat the final boss of the main game. And then there was one optional big named boss in the main game that I also didn't do.
Really?
I didn't do Ebritus. And yeah, that one, and then like Orphan of Cause is probably up until like Elden Ring came out with like Millennia. A lot of people were like, Orphan of Cause is the most difficult boss in FromSoft's entire catalog.
Sure.
Yeah, I just I wasn't feeling the grind because it had been my like seamless Bloodborne experience was interrupted by about 4 months of Baldur's Gate 3 ruling my entire life.
Right.
So yeah, I just at some point I'll go back and finish that. I also never finished not Ace Combat, different AC, Armored Core. Anal cunt.
I was just gonna say.
No, I never finished Armored Core 6.
Yeah.
It is confusing that there are two games where you pilot two Japanese games where you pilot large vehicles that are abbreviated as AC, Armored Core and Ace Combat. Like the mechs in Armored Core might as well be fighter jets. They're basically fighter jets with legs.
Sure.
For how fast they move and the crazy bullshit they do.
But you play as human in both games, right?
I mean, ultimately, yeah, you are a person.
Just a mech with Seth Putnam in it.
This mech is high on heroin. We should probably talk about music at some point.
Sure.
Here.
Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, we'll talk. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
This is music. Another thing that comes out tomorrow. There's a new Shadow of Intent album that comes out tomorrow. I can't remember what it's called, but it comes out tomorrow. So let's talk about Xenotaph by Fallujah. This came out last week before that.
Yeah,
something like it's pretty new.
Very new.
It's a real tech death summer so far on my end of things. Fallujah, if you don't know, is an American technical death metal band from San Francisco. They've been around since 2007. They've had a wide variety of different band members. The lineup has changed a number of different times. Currently, the only remaining original member is Scott Carstairs, I believe, who's the lead guitarist for the band, which for a technical / progressive metal band, if you're going to have one person that sticks around as the core of the band, it might as well be your lead guitarist.
Right.
And I think he's, that's the main reason why their sound has such a clear through line. Everything they've ever done sounds like them. It sounds like Fallujah. He has such a particular playing style and writing style. No one else really sounds like them. The way that their riffs are constructed is relatively idiosyncratic in a way that I've always really dug. I gotta say, this album, it's real good. Yeah, it's real good.
It's tasty.
It's good. It's good stuff.
I listened to it all the way through, and then there was at least one song on here that I listened to back to back a few times after that.
Okay. Well, we'll probably get to that one later because that's probably your favorite song.
Yeah, I would say. Likely, yeah.
So they play a style of technical / progressive death metal that I think is really kind of unique in the sense that they blend in atmospheric and melodic elements so seamlessly to it that it's, oddly enough for its genre, what I would consider to be easy to listen to. There are some really technical albums that I listen to and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is too fucking much. Right. I can't handle this right now. And it's just there's an aggression to it. This is different. It feels it scratches a bit of the same itch as Dream Theater for me.
Yeah. Oh, man, I totally hear that.
Yeah. Where it's it's really technical and incredibly well crafted, but there is something about it that feels more accessible without without losing out on the craft of it. There is a connotation if you say something as accessible, especially in the metal genre. A lot of people take that to mean basic.
Yeah.
This is their most accessible album yet. Yeah. Oh, okay. So they stripped out their sound and lost their edge. Cool.
Songs were all 3.5 minutes with 4 chords. Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
4 time.
All right. Cool. No, this is not that, but there is something about it that just feels that I can just put it on and it doesn't matter what mood I'm in. It will pull me in. And I had a hard time picking a favorite song because there was so much that I want to re-listen, like a Dream Theater album. Yeah. There's so much that I want to re-listen to and listen to that riff again. There's this one riff in this one song that I want to hear again, but it's one of 8,000 different riffs. So I need to re-listen to the entire album to hear it again because I can't remember what song it was on. Horrendous kind of does that as well. They do. A different death metal band of a much different sound
from the other side of the country.
Yeah, they're. Horrendous is much more in the line of old school death metal, a very technical and progressive take on death, basically on death style, old school death metal. Whereas this is very much more new school kind of atmospheric, very clean. But not soulless. Yeah. The production is gorgeous, very well done. But the atmospheric and melodic elements, including singing.
Yeah, there's harmonies on this.
The cleanliness of it is not it doesn't miss out on the humanity the way that I've complained numerous times that some technical death metal bands, it ends up sounding really artificial. Some bands kind of play that to their advantage of, make their songs are all about like robots and AI and stuff. So like, it kind of fits the style. But
I like how they mixed them in this.
Yeah.
I like how they're a little bit low when the singing
Yeah.
comes in, the clean singing. It's a bit low in the mix.
Yeah.
But it just kind of blends with the rest of it.
Yeah, it's just another element. It's not meant to be the sole focus of what's going on.
Right.
Their currently vocalist is named Kyle Schaefer. He came into the band in 2022. I think their previous album, which we did listen to, I think he was on that album, I think.
Because that was not too long ago. That was like 23 or 24, wasn't it?
I think that might have been 2022. Empyrean was the name of that album. That came out April 27th, 2022.
Gotcha.
So he must have joined the band like right when they started recording that, as it would seem. Yeah. And I remember not being... I actually don't... Maybe I'm thinking of Undying Light, which I don't believe we talked about. Because I remember when that album came out and I listened to it, because there was different vocalist on that. They've gone through a couple different vocalists over the last few years. I remember not being particularly keen on that vocalist on Undying Light, because his vocals, he did not have a lot of range. His I would have described his vocals as being more fitting for like a hardcore band, like a hardcore punk band, and it just didn't really fit with their style as I had been introduced to it on the album before that, which was called Dreamless, and that vocalist's singing was much more in line with this one, with the exception of the clean vocals. They were starting to incorporate a little bit more clean singing at that point in 2016, but they hadn't gotten there yet. But Kyle Schaefer is, I like everything he does on this.
He does some stuff that would almost fit in like hardcore punk.
Yeah, his like more sort of mid-range and a little bit higher shouts and screams definitely fit in there. But he's got some ability in his lower range, and some more guttural growls down in there as well. But and I like his clean singing as well. I think it's pretty good. I mean everybody's playing at their best. It feels like the drumming is something that like I don't know. I was grocery shopping, and the entire time I had my hands on the back of the cart and was just tapping along with the drum pattern. Yeah, like I really like the way the drums were mixed, and the playing I thought was really great as well. This album slap. Yeah. His album slaps for sure. Absolutely. So I found 4 reviews without digging super far, and they averaged out to about an 81.2. Is what that averaged out to. What's your favorite song?
My favorite song in this, the thing that I think crystallizes what this band is best at, I think, Step Through the Portal and Breathe.
Yeah, that one has that song has everything. Dan Cortez. Yeah, I would agree that song definitely has like all the things that they do. And like I said, I had trouble picking what my favorite one was, because I just want to listen to all of them more. I need more. I need more time. But I picked Kaleidoscopic Waves, which
that would have been my other one to pick. Yeah.
The first full length song on there. There's kind of an intro,
right,
that sort of bleeds into it pretty seamlessly. It's got so much energy. It was the perfect song to open the album with, in my opinion. It's got a lot going on. I like it. It's got a lot going on. It has one of the, I don't know. Yeah, I was making it like a horizontal skiing motion, if you know what I'm talking about.
Good Lord. Preparing for his night job.
I don't know why. I don't know why I made that. I have to do something with my hands. But yeah, it's just it's got a lot. It has one of those riffs that it is one of them that I'm always like, oh, where was that? I want to listen to it again. And it's one of those ones where like you hear it once and you think it's not going to come back. You think it's going to be one of those ones where it's like, oh, they did a neat little thing and they're not going to do it again.
Right.
And then a minute and a half, you're like, oh, there it was again. There was the little thing they did. And this album is full of those.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for that. It's like I said, it's kind of like a death metal Dream Theater.
Yeah, the guitar work on this is just, like almost inhuman. I mean,
yeah. Scott Carstairs has such a specific style of playing that really, really fast kind of staccato.
Yeah.
Really like it's tremolo picking basically, but it only lasts for a bit. Really fast double picking. In between, the clean leads and all it.
Yeah.
All right. What metal do you bestow? But yeah, it's good. Like Masquerade Chewbacca.
Yeah, it's a gold.
It's gold. It's gold. I agree.
Yeah, this is great.
It's just I want to listen to it more. Like I don't remember being particularly compelled by Empyrean in this way, so I think this album does have some more special sauce to it. I really liked their album from 2016, Dreamless, when it came out.
Right.
And this album kind of gets me back into that like, oh, okay, this is the thing that I really liked. From back then, and it's got more of it. I don't know. Maybe I need to give Empyrean another listen through, and I remember liking that, but I just don't remember being quite so enthusiastic about it as I am about Xenotaph. Also, that's a cool title.
Yeah.
I love all of their album titles are pretty good, and most of their art is really awesome as well. The cover for Undying Light is boring because it's just like an eye of some creature, but all of the cover art for pretty much all of their other albums is like really cool, like big sci-fi elder god nebula thing, and I like that. It's just an art style that I enjoy. So yeah, next week, what do you want to talk about?
Next week, I've been threatening this for the last couple of weeks.
That's always a good way to start your pitch for next week.
I think you'll enjoy this. The album is called A Young Person's Guide to King Parrot.
You've been talking about them.
That's a new album.
Describe them to me again.
They're Australian grindcore is what they bill themselves as.
Okay,
but there's a lot of like a thrashy element. They're more raw and rough cut than this is.
Okay, King Parrot. King Parrot.
They're very Australian too.
How you going? G'day.
G'day.
All right. Well, put another shrimp on the Barbie. We're heading down under for King Parrot. I still feel like King Parrot should be a King Diamond in the style of Jimmy Buffett,
right,
or vice versa. Jimmy Buffett in the style of King Diamond.
Oh my God!
Either would be magical.
I can imagine the Jimmy Buffett sings King Diamond. How that would go.
I don't think he has them. I mean, he would have to transpose I think
some things.
I mean, Jimmy's not singing much anymore.
No, I do a pretty good impersonation. Jimmy Buffett.
Can you do it? There we go. He put his hands over his chest and he leaned back with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
This is an audio medium.
Oh, man.
All right. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. If you'd like to know when the next one comes out, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to our feed on whatever podcast service you use to listen to us. Until then, thank you very much for listening. I'm Kale.
I'm OJ.
Congratulations.